Imagine marrying the love of your life, only to face endless wait times, hurdles of paperwork, and confusion about this process. And the worst part is that there's always the fear that the application will be delayed or maybe the case will be denied at the end of the day. In 2026, USCIS is scrutinizing heavily marriage-based green card cases inside the United States, and the State Department is even worse, scrutinizing cases at US embassies and consulates worldwide. Good news is, if you follow the right steps, if you understand what they're looking for in 2026, you should have no reason why your case won't be processed correctly, fast enough, and eventually get that approval. In this video, I've decided to unveil step by step the guide to getting a green card through marriage in 2026. I had enough of getting these messages and emails from clients who are afraid or frustrated about this process. I'm going to set the record straight in this video and maybe get hate from other attorneys. I don't care. I'm going to reveal it all step by step. The timeline of doing this, what forms are being used, the exact evidence we need to get those cases approved, the interview prep that you need to know before going to the interview, and what actually works right now in 2026, not videos from a year ago, from 5 years ago, right now. All that information, all the insider info in this one video. So stick around, watch this video all the way until the end, and you'll be successful in 2026. Hello everybody and welcome back to Immigration Channel. My name is Jacob Sapochnick and I'm an immigration attorney based in San Diego, California. I've been doing this for 22 years, helping clients get their green cards, and many marriage cases been prepped by us and filed successfully. And this is the purpose of this video as well. I'm going to do one disclaimer before we start this video. I'm not your attorney. I am an immigration attorney. So be very careful with the information you see in this video. This information can change from today to tomorrow, so make sure you keep up to date with our videos and subscribe to my channel so you'll see updates to this video and so you'll be in the know every single time. Do this right now. 26 has been a crazy year. We've seen an increase in requests for evidence, an increase in denials. More people are getting detained at their interviews, and people are getting more requests for evidence than ever before. Filing fees went up as well, and mandatory in-person interviews are now required for almost every single green card case, marriage and employment. Based on recent policy updates, they want to see that people are going there and their cases are real. They're checking this very heavily, more than before. And processing times increased for many I-130s, almost doubled. Who qualifies to file a green card based on marriage? You can be a green card holder filing for a spouse, especially now in April of 2026. The visa bulletin is current, so if you're a green card holder, you can file from inside the United States if your spouse is in legal status like a student, tourist, or on a work visa. If you're a US citizen, you can also do that even if your spouse is without status. So, step number one. First, we have to check if the person is even eligible to file. Many people are filing these green card cases and they're not eligible. They came here without inspection, they overstayed, but they have no proof they came here legally. If you're not eligible, don't file. First of all, check that you're eligible and start collecting the information that we need for those cases. The first thing I always ask is, I want to see that your marriage is legit. Where's your marriage certificate? Where did you get married? And if you're married before, I want to see that divorce paperwork. For example, a guy from the Philippines, he was about to get married. He came to my office with the marriage certificate. I'm like, where's the divorce paperwork? I know you're in the Philippines. I know you have kids. You mentioned in the application form. Where's that divorce decree? Well, he couldn't get divorced. It was complicated to do so in the Philippines. He thought nobody's going to find out. I told him, there's no way I'm filing your case. You're still married. You're going to go get annulment and then we'll figure it out. But that case is not going to be filed. Then you have to collect documents, tax returns from the sponsor, proof of bona fides that you're together, all the documents. They want to see them now at the early stages of filing. If you don't make enough money, you need a co-sponsor. If you don't have a co-sponsor, don't file. Your case will be denied in 2026. There's new red flags criteria. If there's a big age gap, if you just recently married and you just met and you just married and you file after a month of knowing each other, these are red flags we have to deal with before filing your application. Somebody that has a large age gap and things like that, we need to discuss this before filing your case. One tip I can share with you is start the collection of documents early with all the evidence, with all the eligibility before we file, because if I find out that there's something off there, we're going to delay the filing to make sure we fix it so you don't get denied. Number two, filing the petition and the application the right way. If you're a US citizen and you're married to a foreign national inside the United States, you are eligible to file adjustment of status as long as your foreign spouse entered the United States with inspection. You can file Form I-130 and Form I-485, the adjustment of status, together concurrently at the same time. You can also add the work permit I-765, the travel document I-131, the affidavit of support I-864. All these documents are going to be filed together. And if you're not going to do this together, you're going to be doing a lot of mistakes in that initial step, which will cause you delays. Make sure the filing fees are correct and you have the correct edition of the form. The best way to find out is you go to the USCIS website and you click on Form I-130 and it will give you the instructions, the exact filing fee at the time of filing. I'm not going to tell you the filing fees in this video because they might change tomorrow. So to make this video relevant, I'm going to send you to the USCIS website to Form I-130, click on the instructions, and right there, you'll see the current fees at the time you're watching this video. What if your spouse is overseas? Or if you're a green card holder and the priority date is not current? In this case, you can only file Form I-130. That's going to start the process of the petition for a family based on marriage. So if your spouse is abroad or you're a green card holder and the dates are not current, you can only file Form I-130 to start this process. Once you determine that you can do that, whether it's concurrent or I-130 only, you can file this online and get a receipt within 2 to 4 weeks. And that's when the game starts. The waiting period begins. So step number 3, what happens after filing? If you're inside the United States, you're going to get an appointment for biometrics and you're going to wait for your work permit to come in the mail after 6 months or so. The final step is going to be your interview. During this time, immigration will do background checks on you and they're going to review your medical exam that was submitted in step number 1. If you are inside the United States and you're married to a citizen, the whole thing will be less than a year. If you're married to a green card holder, you'll have to wait at least 2 years for the visas to become current. But if you're inside the United States and the dates are current, like in April of this year, you'll be able to get your work permit before the green card is approved, which is an advantage to do this now. But what if you're overseas? If you're overseas, you have to wait for the I-130 to be approved, typically 14 to 18 months in most cases. Then the case will be sent to the National Visa Center. They'll sit another 6 months on this case. You submit more documents like the affidavit of support, biometric information, your birth certificates. And once the National Visa Center deems your case complete, they will be scheduling your appointment at the U.S. Embassy, which will take another 6 months to a year, depending on which country you're from. Or if you're from a banned or paused country, that process will take even longer. Most countries that are paused are still getting their interviews, but they're not getting their green cards because they're paused. The reason why they're paused is because they're worried that you'll become a public charge. You are coming from a country, or you as a person might be a risk to take money from the government. So if that's you, you're going to be prepared for that interview showing financial stability. Which leads us to step number 4, the green card interview. In most cases, people will have an interview if you're inside the United States. Most of these interviews are taking anywhere from 20 minutes to 2 hours. It depends on the case, whether you have enough evidence or you're prepared or the officers are suspecting that your marriage is real or they have issues. If it's a good interview, you're going to be out of there in 20 minutes. If there's complexities, you'll be there for a couple of hours. Most of the time, they'll ask you about how did you meet, the initial courtship, then your actual life together. They're going to verify you have commingled documents like bank accounts, like anything that you have together, residency, tax returns, lease or mortgage. And finally, they're going to go over the questions on the I-485 about security and vetting. And if you pass all that, the officers will tell you that you passed and you're going to get your green card in the mail. In many cases, they can't give you an answer in the interview. It doesn't mean that you're going to get denied. It means they need more time to check on your case. If it's a consular interview, usually you don't have to appear with your spouse. Inside the United States, you're going to come together. Abroad, only the foreign national will be interviewed. That's the main difference between consular and inside the United States. Biggest mistakes at interviews: inconsistent answers and lack of evidence. Step number 5, approval and conditional green card. If you're inside the United States and your marriage is less than 2 years, you're going to get only a 2-year green card. After 2 years, you'll have to file another form called I-751 to remove the conditions. During those 2 years, you have to prove that you're still together. In case of divorce, don't worry. You can still get your green card by yourself as long as you file a waiver on that same form, proving that you have enough documents to support that relationship, that it was always real. And at consular processing, after you pass the interview, you're going to get an immigrant visa for 6 months, then you're going to enter the United States, and only then your green card will be mailed. So what are some of these things that we've seen, some pitfalls? People are not getting prepared. They're not ready for those interviews. They are leaving the country without advance parole. The cases get denied. They don't use the correct forms. They don't have complete evidence. They miss sections of the form. They answer questions that are inconsistent with the information they provided on the forms. If you stay organized, collect evidence early enough, complete the correct forms, and be prepared for your interview both inside the United States and outside the United States, you'll be good in 2026. In 2026, they increase vetting. They're checking people's at home. So if your interview doesn't go well, they will come to your house. It doesn't happen abroad, but it will happen inside the United States. So the more you're prepared, the less chances this is going to happen. Remember, take it seriously. Interviews are taking place. And if you need help with your immigration matter, send me a text right now. On the screen, you see a WhatsApp number. This is the number you need to text me right now if you want me to prepare you for your next interview and for your green card case. This is what we do best, and I want to do it for you as well. Once again, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments, when is your interview and what happened to you if you already went through the interview. And as always, share these videos, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.